like my thing. I have to explain it when you guys don't know.
Okay.
It's your kink.
Well,
We
we're
don't
live.
kink shame. Everybody has a kink.
We do not kink shame. Hey. How is everybody?
Oh, are we live?
We
We're
are
live.
Nice. Hey.
Hey. How's it going, everybody?
I'm
Good to see everybody.
Yeah.
Even my hose has a kink.
But
Yeah.
Just a little one. It's minor.
Jesus. I don't want to know.
But don't pretend like you don't know.
Yeah, especially with Zach. I do
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Had a lot of experience.
All right, gang, let's get the show started. Welcome, everyone, to Gamers Week podcast. Like the name says, we analyze the best, worst, and weirdest headlines of the past week in the video game industry. This is episode 198, and today is Wednesday, February 4th, 2026. Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. My name is Blue Williams, and I'll be your host for this evening. But as you can see, I am not alone. I have two fine co-hosts with me. If my first co-host invites you over to watch the Winter Olympics, be prepared to be served homemade iguana tacos before he invites you back to the bedroom to see why his bedside table is vibrating. Please, everyone, say hello to Ryan Payne, aka Retro Game Brews.
That's a lot to process at once.
It would be a memorable date, I am sure.
Yes, I'm sure. So yeah, I sent the group a video of a guy who is taking iguanas that have been frozen as a result of the cold weather in Florida and decided to take one of them and cook it up to make tacos. It was disturbing, I think.
Yeah, I'm probably noping out of that one, but
Yeah, and you had to bring up the parasites and stuff too, so I appreciate that. That was great.
I'm just saying, I'm not eating anything that is free ranging on Florida man's trash. I'm just not doing it.
That's fair.
Yeah, man, you can cook up raccoons, man. They taste good. No, don't want to do that.
Nope. And my second co-host hasn't left his house after shelling out $1,800 for a genuine but non-working Tommy Omnibot that is definitely not being used as a sex doll. Please welcome in the one and only Donnie G.
I have dressed it up in like a little French maid outfit and everything. And it just sits there. It sits in the corner. It doesn't do anything. That's not what I want from my sex dolls. I want interaction. I want you to not just lay there and starfish it. Just talk to me.
So you want one of those new robots that they're building.
the new ones for the stimulating conversation. That's it.
Right.
Stimulating.
Yeah.
Stimulating.
Want to start your own podcast? Maybe about sticks and stone-cut oatmeal, the trendy new bed and breakfast where you pay to be insulted by Scottish people. Well, Buzzsprout has a user-friendly interface, great analytics, and resources to help grow your audience. Just use the link in the description to get a $20 credit when you sign up for a paid plan.
Oi!
Yeah, exactly. C word.
All right, let's move on to our reviews, reactions, and requests. Ubisoft Workers of Canada Halifax said, "Here's a crazy idea. Ubisoft should listen to the workers. Ubisoft gathers our feedback every year, but doesn't seem like they pay much attention. There have been cool projects made by passionate people that sadly got shelved rather than supported. Take a risk on 20 projects that cost $20 million instead of one project that costs $400 million.
I love this.
That's a great point, right? Why put all your eggs in one basket when you can spread it out? And instead of saying, "Oh, this new Assassin's Creed," and I'm just going off here.
Sure.
This new Assassin's Creed, we can make this much money over, and this is the 10th installment. But by doing something else, you could start a whole new trend and a whole new series. So I agree. Take the risk.
It's diversifying, right? You're spreading out your risk rather than throwing all of your eggs in one basket.
And as
And I
Wilson
do
said, go ahead.
really like getting the insight from the inside
Oh yeah,
Which
for sure.
apparently the workers are like, hey man, we're trying.
Yeah.
They just don't listen to us.
And any critique I think that we have of companies like this, we're not critiquing the person who's developing any of this
Mm-mm.
stuff. I think a lot of times we are critiquing the CEO, the COO of those places, you know. So
Right.
um
The
yeah,
decision-making suits.
exactly,
Right.
exactly. The guy that's never played a fucking video game in his life.
Right.
Because it's all business to him.
hmm
Dragoon Arc says, how does Blue miss in the don't wake daddy question? The Council of Daddies are going to congregate to review the legitimacy of her daddy titles.
I love this so much.
I am the council.
Apparently not.
No, you just did the emperor there.
And
Ah.
Funyuns said, I just witnessed a trivia assassination. Donnie doing a little jig for those who are just listening
Oh.
later.
Love it.
You know what? I was talking with Zach about this before the show. I said, you two can't even remember what we talked about a week ago because your heads are so fucking full of nonsense facts.
Yeah,
So
like
there has to be
Punky
balance
Brewster's
on the
dog.
show. Somebody has to remember what happened 5 minutes ago, not just song lyrics from 1984.
Okay, so you have your designated
Right.
title or appointed spot. We have ours. That's how this whole balance works.
In my job here, I know it's stupid, but I'm gonna do it.
All right, let's move on to our patron shoutouts.
We couldn't do what we do without the help of our gorgeous patrons. Here are the generous folks supporting Gamers Week on Patreon. Ramboski, Terry Kinnear, don't make me pull this car over. My loony bun is fine. What? My loony bun is fine, Benny Lava.
My loony bun is fine, Benny Lava.
Okay.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Hybrid Divide. You fall before me, the Let's Play Princess, the Let's Play Princess, La Shorty, the Pixel Pond family, including Shannon and Luke, and the Ski Ball Daddy. I don't know why I said La Thorty. Or Zach, aka Old Cluster Nuts, Puzzle Butter, Number One Blue Sick Voice Chan, John Barron, Sassy Sony, Evo Lust, Cyram, Al Harrington's Wacky Waving Inflatable Arm Flailing Tube Man Emporium and Warehouse, Mega Retro Man, Gamma Troid, Moradib, Michael, that's the bedroom, but nothing ever happened in there. What a crime. Lakite, Evo-esque, Bill Tucker, you know, the bleeps, the sweeps, and the creeps. Fruitcakes, I hate it when my Schwartz gets twisted, Pickled Pepper. Ducks with Thick Thighs, absolutely the best podcast, a work in progress. Bobson Dugnut, Blues Little Sis, Perler Daddy, Retro Blast Pat, B&T Zilla Guy, The Mad Milkman, Seven Castle Forest, Crunchy Kong, The Itchiest Bon, Frank Grande, Love Retro BTW, and Steven Sand. If you like what you hear today, and we really hope you do, please consider joining us on Patreon. Your support helps cover the cost of producing the show, as well as other cool stuff we'll be doing like prizes and giveaways. You'll also gain access to our bi-weekly Patreon. You'll also gain access to our bi-weekly patron-only bonus cast called Gamers Week Uncut, Patrons with Benefits. Visit patreon.com/gamersweek or follow the link in the show notes to learn more.
You know, Frank posted in the chat, next trivia will be all about the previous GWP episodes.
Ooh.
And I love that idea. All the receipts, every single one of them.
Okay, then you have to host the trivia.
All right, let's move on to the headlines.
All right, this headline segment is proudly sponsored by absolutely the best podcast, A Work in Progress. Each episode, George and Zach discuss and rank all the best things. And right now, they're ranking every movie in the Alien versus Predator connected universe. This week, they've got a trivia question for us. What Norwegian synth pop song with the working title Lesson 1 failed to chart twice in the UK in 1984 and 1985 before finding success in the United States, topping Billboard Top 100 in October of 1985. Visit them at absolutelythebest.net or follow the link in the show notes.
I am a bearded lady, Norwegian.
I gotta be honest with you, I don't know that many synth pop songs like off the top of my head, especially Norwegian ones. I'm sure there's one out there that's popular that I just don't know
I
is
can
Norwegian.
assure you, you know this song.
Okay. So my gut was the um don't you forget about me.
Simple Minds. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not Norwegian though.
See, I don't know. That's the only like 1985 song I could think of.
So failed in the UK,
Mhm.
but it said okay. So I think it topped. It said topped the top 100. So that means it went to number 1.
Yeah.
And so the only song that I know of in '85 that would have done that would have been "Take on Me" by Aha. But I'm not sure if they're
is
Norwegian.
that are they Norwegian?
Aha! I mean, you got because the "Take on Me," it's got the dun, 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 and that's totally like synthwave or synth.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
That's my guess.
So the working title was lesson 1, and so I said, well, obviously it's like a virgin.
But
As a joke, but Zach didn't laugh either. He's like, she's not Norwegian. I was like, oh, come on, give me something here. The answer is "Take on Me" by Aha.
Very good, Donnie. Very good.
Take on me, trivia. Sorry.
All right, let's get into this week's headlines. First up, in case no one said it yet, welcome to hell. Now, please remove your hat and enjoy AI Astrobot's podcast about why the ghost of Yote should stick her dual katana in your mouth, or something like that. Publisher Sony has just embraced death and patented its idea for bespoke AI-generated podcasts starring the characters from its games. These LLM-based generative podcasts for gamers, as indicated by the title for the concept in the World Intellectual Property Organization database, will provide what Sony vaguely calls unique, personalized podcasts of news that a particular gamer would find interesting. The patent imagines a world where the PS5 start screen advertises something like, "Your personalized podcast is available for today," and people actually want to click on it. Sony says the podcast can present the news in the voice of a video game character of a video game already played by the respective gamer. As the patent describes it, the console would pull data from various elements, including recent gameplay, friends lists, and other console level events, and inform the player about them in this podcast. In one example, the player is watching 2 AI hosts presenting the podcast. One host says, "Jack Brown just won Trophy 532 in Space Explorers. You should try your hand at that game." To which the other host replies, "Ha, if you think you have the skills." In another, the first host says, "In other news, there's a software update for Gen X, so update now." And their co host adds, "Also, try a spin move on the boss next time." In certain instances, the audio may include a joke at the video game player's expense, the patent says. Hopefully, that makes you feel better.
Nope.
Oh my God.
That meme, the oof meme of the
Yeah,
guy.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like that, like
huge.
as far off the charts as the oof can get.
Oh, that's so corny.
Jack Brown just won Trophy 532 in Space Explorers. You should try your hand at that game. You should mind your own fucking business.
See, I can't wait until it's looking at all your friends list and it's like, "Hey, Ryan Payne just started playing Magical Titty Wizard 4, and you should send him a gift basket of lotion because he clearly needs it."
I'm just now I gotta go back and play Magical Titty Wizard 1 through 3.
Would you like to send Ryan a gift basket of baby oil from Amazon? Sure.
I
why
prefer Jergens. No, it's I'm a lotion guy.
I do think the baby oil market has decreased recently.
I'm a baby oil guy.
No reason. See, Zach says Magical Titty Wizard peaked at 3. Tegan says, "Wow, this doesn't sound like dog shit at all." And Puzzle Better says, "This is the creepiest idea I've ever heard. There is not enough nope."
But so I mean, if it was interesting, if they were going to create actual witty dialogue between them, I'm I'm not saying I'm getting on the train here, but at least I wouldn't like abhor this whole thing, right? This would not be like um, the bane of my existence. But in general, generative AI podcasts, I've listened to a few of them. A lot of times they're just reading the
Really?
news, which is fine. I've checked it out. I wanted to kind of see what it's all about. And they're all really base level podcasts. It's the kind of shows that if a human being was doing them, they would last 4 episodes, 5 episodes, because people would get bored and nobody would listen. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's like they have no additional context to provide. And like I said, most of them that I've run into are just them reading news articles, and the guy whose voice is constantly on TikTok, you know, so using his voice in order to read the news. But if we're talking
Mm.
about having banter back and forth, computers aren't witty enough to do that. Someday they will be. I will
Yeah.
say that. But right now it's disgusting. It makes me so disappointed that we're trying to push this whole AI thing into spaces that is clearly not ready for.
But it's kind of there. I think, are, are we ready for it? Are we ready for that personalized assistant? I mean, you see it in movies, you see it all over the place,
Sure.
and now it's trying to make it its way into your household. Like, oh, hey, do you want to know what came or what was said on the news today? Like, yeah, sure, read it to me. Well, what do you think
Mhm.
about that? And because now they've got AI agents that have this back and forth, like the mental health thing. They have somebody that you can get on there and talk to. I think so. It's here, but like the whole interaction, it's I think to your point, it's going to be dry and emotionless.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, how many times have you Googled something and they have the AI summary at the top and it's just been flat out wrong?
Oh,
Yeah, that's all the time now.
yeah.
So, giving AI the ability to give insight to a news story and or to advise patients on their mental health, I'm not 100% sold on that thing.
Yeah.
Um, on the surface, I don't hate this idea. A daily podcast by PlayStation characters giving you news about updates and what's going on in your
Sure.
network. I don't hate that. But I hate it if it's not like actually crafted into something that is interesting, which Sony's never going to put the resources and writers into doing, or the
No.
animators or anything like that. So
Yeah.
automatically, this is dead on arrival. And I know we've talked about it again, and we're going to, spoilers, talk about AI a lot more tonight because unfortunately it's one of those weeks.
Mm.
But this technology is still, it's like everybody fell in love with it first, and then they're backpedaling trying to prove that that love is earned. It's like you're dating the guy your parents told you not to, and you can't break up with him and prove him right. You have to make it work.
Next thing you know, you're
So
married with 4 kids.
All
all right, God damn it, you're not gonna win this one, Dad.
This felt very personal.
See, and Zach says, I haven't heard a single AI podcast discuss magical titty wizard.
Which is a glaring omission, I must admit.
Right.
Doonkie Forever says if Sony paid voice actors in a GTA like radio station, I would pay for a subscription. Yeah, voice actors.
If it was cheap enough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's missing that human element, that, for lack of a better term, that soul to it. We have, I think, an ability to think on our feet. I think, in particular, people listen to this show because we got great chemistry. I just don't see that happening with AI for a very, very long time.
I don't think this is speaking for me personally. I would not go for something like a constant recap, because it's pulling your own data from a game. Like, hey, I noticed that you've died to this boss in Elden Ring. This is your 25th time. Why not go to FAQs and look up a walkthrough?
Try a spin move.
Exactly. I don't need that. I don't need this recap of you gathering all my data and spitting it back out to me.
It's pretty obnoxious.
Yeah.
And can you imagine too if it said, hey, you died 25 times? Like, wouldn't your first reaction be like, fuck you,
Yeah, exactly.
Kratos?
Well, it's like that well in Cuphead, that if you go to it, it shows you how many times you die. And I did that one time and I was like, never looking at this again.
Yep.
I don't need to know this.
So which character would you guys want if you were going to get on board with this? Which character would be your personalized podcast host?
Sony character.
That's the problem. It's a Sony character.
Yeah.
Like, I can think of other ones outside of Sony. Uh, who's the hot goth chick from Final Fantasy X?
Lulu?
Lulu. I know it's Square Enix, but if we can
Yeah.
bring Lulu in,
Yeah, ipso
If it's a
facto.
character that's been on a Sony platform at one point, let's say they're eligible.
I like it.
In which case, I think Pyramid Head should give me my
Oh,
daily
he doesn't
gaming
even.
news.
He doesn't even speak.
That's okay. I wouldn't be listening anyway.
All you can hear is just the sword scraping. Like,
Doing an interpretive dance.
yeah.
Doogie wants Parappa.
Nice.
Nice.
Punch, kick.
I would probably do even though it's Konami, it's mainly PlayStation. I would do Snake.
Nice.
Ah, good one.
Crash Bandicoot, but from the like 19 or the like early 2000s commercials, where it's the guy who's wearing the
And
mascot
the big,
hat.
yeah. I love those
Right.
things.
And he gets pulled over by the cops, and the cop says, "Do you know why he pulled you over?" And he goes, "Because you think I got donuts in here." That
With
guy.
that classic 90s attitude.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Humor. Yeah,
Yep.
that'd be good stuff. Webhead says Astrobot because I love that little guy. Tikan says
Mhm.
Aloy just proves the natural downfall of technology by using her focus to start the podcast.
The irony.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing is this has been the big headline of the week, but I have not seen anyone report it in a positive light.
Right.
And I know this is just a patent. Half the time, companies are filing patents just so nobody else can have it, even
Right.
if they
Mhm.
don't intend to use it themselves. But hopefully, Sony sees the feedback on this and goes, wow, nobody wants this. Like, actually, nobody. So, and they just don't even bother with it.
Simon Escher says, I want to listen to a true crime podcast from Sly Cooper. Have him tell me how much better he would have done the caper. I was thinking like Tex Murphy too.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh God, I
Yeah.
would love that. There's one sentence, one line in this whole thing, this whole story that just like kind of
In the
irks
hole?
me. Huh?
Mm.
In the hole. Yeah. In the. It's the. Hang on a second. Let me find it. Yada 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 yada. And people actually want to click on it. If you have to put that in there, then nobody wants to fucking click on it.
It's like when you refer to yourself as a luxury or like fancy something, you know?
Yeah.
You go to the store, like fancy salt. Oh, really? Is it fancy salt? Okay.
Ooh. They're my gold shoes, and people want to buy them. People ought to buy it. It's like,
it's like
yeah.
calling your hotel the red carpet inn, you know, trying to sound way more important than it is.
Yeah. All right, next up. Unity Software Inc. and video game stocks plunged this past Friday on fears of possible artificial intelligence disruption after Google began to roll out Project Genie. Shares of San Francisco-based Unity sank as much as 28%, the worst one-day drop since 2022. Video game developers Take-Two Interactive Software and CD Projekt SA also saw their stock fall 9.3% and 8% respectively, while online gaming platform Roblox Corp dropped 15%. Google's AI model, dubbed Project Genie, allows users to simulate a real world environment through prompts with text or uploaded images, potentially disrupting how video games have been made for over a decade and forcing developers to adapt to the fast-moving technology. The prototype web app of Project Genie costs $250 a month compared with Unity's Pro subscription, which costs users $210 per month. Project Genie also has the potential to shorten lengthy development cycles and reduce costs, as some premium titles take around 5 to 7 years and hundreds of millions of dollars to create. While Google's AI tool is unlikely to threaten EA, Take-Two, Roblox, or Unity in the medium term, said Bloomberg intelligence analyst Nathan Nadeau, but it could pose longer-term risks if it evolves into a platform capable of producing commercially viable games. William Blair analyst Dylan Becker wrote in a Friday note on Unity to clients that the stock drop is further evidence of the shoot first and ask questions later fears attributable to AI uncertainty that have weighed on sentiment throughout the overall software space in recent months.
That's it. Is that we really don't know what AI is going to look like in the future, and
Mm-mm.
if it's going to continue to be valuable or viable. I mean, it seems like every month I hear about Nvidia's stock goes up, goes down. Palantir stock goes up, goes down. Open AI is now trying to get purchased by, everyone and their mother. So there is some volatility. I can certainly understand why that led to stock changes for it. Um, I don't know if they're the harbinger of change necessarily, but oh God, please, can we figure out a way uh, to make it so that everyone, like Google, isn't running the gaming space in the future? Like that's just uh, out of everybody that could get involved with it, there are like a short list of people I wouldn't, and Google is on it.
But
That's
Stadia was so great. I don't
Stadia
Uh,
was great. Oh
I don't
yeah, it was
understand
fantastic.
what
Right?
your complaint is.
Oh God.
Did you guys have a chance to watch this Project Genie trailer,
I have not.
announcement
Not
trailer?
yet.
So it's basically it's a screen and they type in a prompt and they're like, show me a photorealistic alpine meadow and then a Shiba Inu walking through it. And then so it does. It's a meadow, you've got the dog walking through it and they control the dog and it walks. And then they say, okay, now change it to a balloon animal. And then it's a pink balloon bunny. And then they just keep showing different characters moving through different environments. All kinds of stuff you can imagine. You can take a photo and upload it, and then it will take that photo and create an AI environment from it, and you can control a character that way. Here's the thing though, that was the only thing that they showed.
Oh.
Characters walking through environments. Not multiple characters walking through environments, not them doing anything but walking. No enemies, no nothing else going on. It is just one character walking through one environment through the whole trailer.
It was a Lord of the Rings simulator?
So, what they showed to
Walking.
me was so far away from a video game. Just because you can move a character in an environment, what about enemies? What about gameplay? What about balancing the combat? What about all this stuff, progression, all these kind of things? It did none of that. It showed a character model walking. And like it was a really minor complaint, but one thing that I watched in the movie or in the trailer, the Shiba Inu jumps over a fence at one point and it kind of does this four-legged hop and it floats really jumpy and then it lands on four legs. And then later in the video, some lady takes a picture of her cat and then it creates a little game in her living room with the cat walking and the cat jumps on the couch and it does the same thing, this four-legged jump, floaty, land, four legs. And I'm like,
Sounds like shitty CGI from like the
right, that's
mid
what it
90s.
looked like. Like, this is the kind of stuff that a computer is not going to understand, that you need a human to see what is wrong with what you're looking at.
But it's showing you the possibility. That's all that they care about right now. They're
Sure.
showing you the possibility to get investors on board to pump
Mhm.
money into this thing and say, "Hey, look how rudimentary it looks and right now. But if we focus our time and effort and money on this, we can make it a million times better." I mean, if you look at CGI from when like the 80s until now, you're 40 years ago. And CGI is basically when you're watching something, you are blown away because it looks like it's actually happening. Whereas before, it's like, oh, this is complete and total dog shit. I know that this is CGI. So they're just trying to get people on board to say, hey, we can do this. Look at what it's doing now. I mean, Jesus, if you've scrolled any type of social media, TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff right now, even Facebook Reels and all that, all of these reels out there that have these characters that are made up of AI doing all of these things, and you're like, wow, you know what? That kind of like I can tell it's a little bit off, but I know like this actually looks looks like viable. So it's going to get there.
And I've seen recently deep fakes when it comes to the news.
Yeah.
I mean, there's short clips, but they are definitely, it looks real. Unless, to your point, there's just something off about it, like the physics just doesn't work
Yeah.
right. There's also that voice. You ever heard where it sounds kind of echoey, and that to me is like an instant indication that it's probably AI.
Uh-huh.
But you're right. Uh, they've been able to up their game on quote unquote deep fakes as far as videos. They're all short, right? But that they talked about that for the last 3 to 4 years prior to that being a reality. Oh, it's coming. Oh, it's coming. And now it's here.
Mm-hmm.
Fair, but if I was trying to put this thing out as the next biggest thing, the brand new way to
Sure.
make games, the new engine, I would show a fucking game in my launch trailer, not just a character walking.
You have a point.
I would show what this thing can do. And I think that's part of the problem with this and with AI in general is that everybody sees a few things that look kind of good on the surface. We're not looking deeper than that. And then everybody's being won over, and oh my God, this AI is going to take over the world. Let's sell all our stock because apparently the stock owners have never played a video game either. So they don't know what a video game should look
Yeah.
like. This looks convincing enough. Abandon ship. We have got to look at this stuff and say, is this worth? Can it actually do what you say it can? And I have yet to once be convinced that AI can.
The problem is that they used AI to come up with the idea for the trailer as well. They said, what should it include in the trailer?
Right.
And they
Right.
went, there you go.
Wasn't
No, fair.
Unity in the news back in 2022 because of the whole subscription thing? Like, what's his nuts? The dude from Unity said they were changing the subscription, and there was a whole backlash, and then they
He got
went back.
fired, if I
Yeah.
recall.
Okay. Yeah. FAFO.
Simon Escher says, I'm frustrated with the repeated, in capital, slop. Keep seeing this video of a chihuahua wearing an oversized Halloween mask walking up to a much bigger dog and scaring it in the same dang prompt over and over. Oh, and here's the chihuahua again, scaring a big dog. I have seen from a multitude of people, yes, basically the same premise or the exact same video. Right now, it was like Ice chasing down a person who is in a middle finger costume that's also sitting on an office chair.
Yeah. Is that AI?
Oh yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, it's a
If that's
hilarious
not, that's great,
premise,
yeah.
right? But they're in an office chair. I mean, how is that guy? It's not like it's an office chair with rockets on the back of it.
I know what it's
Maybe he
going
has
down.
Flintstone speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's not ready, and I can't wait until people just take off their rose-colored glasses and see this for what it actually is.
Yeah, right now. It's the magic bullet's going to solve all of our problems. So everything is being overpromised at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I work with AI tools all day, and I will tell you there are a lot of limitations to what it can do. I don't know how many times people come up to me and go, "Well, could it do this?" Yeah, if you
No.
wait 5 years and
And think about it. Another headline that came out this week was that in the last 2 years, 1/3 of workers in the U.S. video game industry have been fired.
wow.
1/3. If that happened in any other industry, like that would be catastrophic. But because I guess it's video games, people seem not to care so much. So think about if something like Project Genie could take off, or if people just believe it will and fire everybody even more than they are, and the gaming industry will be decimated.
Well, the problem too is that they've been preparing for this for years by
Yeah.
creating gaming and development is more like a gig job, right? Rather than like a steady
Yeah.
employment. So it's easy to fire a third of the developers because, oh, well, they were 1099s, no big deal. Like we didn't have to do layoffs and have to give these people benefits potentially. Um, all contracts are different, of course, but it's a gig job. So they're dispensable. in a
Yeah.
way.
Dispensable. And it's coming. I mean, I think the game industry
All of our
probably
faces.
is is seen somewhat as of a luxury, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you have other industries that are staples that people rely on to live, and
Yep.
I think you're going to see a wave of people getting axed from those being replaced by AI. And then, of course, you've got um, the tech millionaire Elon Musk, who says in the future people won't need to work, and money will be irrelevant. How?
Star Trek.
Yeah.
They figured it out.
Weird.
Yeah, I've never been able to get into Star Trek because I can't see any possible future where something like that society would come out of humans. It always loses me right at the starting line.
I gotta be honest with you, I don't want to work anymore, so
That's-
I'm ready to
yeah.
fucking retire.
You tell me I can just walk into a Best Buy and just grab this, like, hey, I'm taking this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, Simon, exactly, 100%. That happened. That actually happened.
Governments don't make stupid decisions.
My favorite one was when we fired people from the nuclear protection. Oops. Who's watching the nukes?
I don't know.
The AI, I guess. All right, next up, Variety reported Tuesday that Tongle, a studio that has developed content for Netflix, NBC Universal, and other major brands, is in the process of developing a feature film based on the 1980s gridiron video game Tecmo Bowl. Tongle has been soliciting designers and animators who can reimagine the 8-bit characters from Tecmo Bowl as 3D characters for the modern era. Tongle, which collaborated with Pharrell Williams on his 2024 animated Lego biopic Piece by Piece, is seeking 2 teams to each develop their own version of Bo Jackson, the legendary NFL running back and unstoppable force of the original Tecmo Bowl. How the original Tecmo style translates to 3D is entirely up to you, and we're open to any and all interpretations, the Tongle website says. Whatever the style, we want to ensure that the personality of the player can come through in the design. From there, one team will be tasked with creating updated images of 1980s NFL stars Lawrence Taylor and Howie Long, along with a new Tecmo Bowl logo and background design. The deadline for pitches is February 17. I grew up playing Tecmo Bowl with my friends, as did so many kids of the 90s, and I know this is going to resonate with the fans and their families, Tongle CEO and co-founder James DeJulio said. This is an opportunity to innovate and build a new model for storytelling, one where beloved IP is supercharged by the talent and ideas of independent creators around the world.
So personally, I don't know if there's a lot of depth to a Tecmo Bowl movie, but I've been wrong. I know that there's like animes that are based around sports, so maybe they can go that route. I don't know.
I mean, if they can make an emoji movie, they can make a Tecmo Bowl.
you're
Oh,
not
you know, and that
wrong.
was so
Lord,
successful.
yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't stop them from trying, though. That's the thing.
But if this is successful, then you're going to see subsequently bases loaded, blades of steel,
Oh,
double
please.
dribble.
You don't want a Blades of Steel movie?
Man, I'd stop. No,
Fight.
don't. It's a great noise. Stop ruining my video game history by pumping
With the
out.
pass. With the pass.
Yeah.
Isn't it what they always say? Like, the original still exists. This isn't doing anything to it. You can still have that.
But it's if the movie is bad, it
think it
sours
was-
it. It sours the name.
I know. I've always hated that argument.
You know what though? They did actually a pretty funny version of Tecmo Bowl. Do you remember years ago they had, I think it was like Hyundai had commercials where they were using Tecmo Bowl. Bo Jackson was in it, right? And Bo Jackson gets the ball, gets to the Hyundai and he's driving down. And then what's his nuts? Oh crap, what's his name?
What's his nuts?
He was that like linebacker that everybody hated. The Boz.
Nobody hated him. Chris Bosworth, Stone
Oh
Cold.
my God, he
I
was
love
hated by a
Stone
lot
Cold.
right? So it's funny because in real life, at one point, Bo Jackson just trucked the Boz. And
Yeah.
so he gets there and then he stops, pulls over, and he goes, he's like, signals him to get in. And he's like, thanks for not running me over. And then Bo Jackson turns to the camera and goes, again.
I love that. Yeah, commercial.
So I would be all for that kind of stuff, like make it funny, have cameos from the players, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bob's and Doug Nut from Baseball Simulator. Yeah, it could be funny, but I don't know. It says it's making content for Netflix. So is that a show? Is that a movie? I don't see this
It's a
being
film.
like,
Well, it doesn't say they're making it for Netflix. It says they've made stuff for Netflix in the past.
oh, gotcha. So
we don't know who is. I don't know who is behind this, but I was kind of surprised that they're actually going with real people. The real people who were in the game, many of whom are still alive.
Yeah, so how's that
I
gonna
figured
work?
they would just make up a bunch of old characters that they could do whatever they wanted with. So that's a pleasant surprise.
Have Lawrence Taylor talk about his exploits.
Yeah.
And that reminds me, kids, don't smoke crack.
Imagine if this was campy as hell, campy as fuck, like Games with Coffee says.
Sure.
R-rated, but still like animated 8-bit.
I'd have to see what the context of the film is. Is it going to be animated? Is it going to be real life action? And if so, what's the premise? What's it going to be about? Yeah, they say that they're making content for it that's reflects the actual characters in the game. What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, it's not a lot of depth to that. It's very base value.
Yeah.
They're like sitting in a huddle and be like, as long as we choose a different play than the defense, I think we'll do okay. Like
No. It says everything. What it says is they are soliciting animators and designers, and they are building the entire concept around a look.
Got it.
That tells you everything you need to know about this movie. Now, whether they're able to back it up with a clever script afterwards, but they don't have a concept. They want a design, then they'll get a concept.
Cart in front of the horse. I like it.
That is 21st century filmmaking. You get a brand name, then you back it up later.
So, okay, so it makes it sound like it's going to be a 3D animated film.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's all going to be a cash grab. Let's be honest. It's all going to be a nostalgia fest.
Yeah, if you're just listening, Donnie's sitting back with his old man arms folded look.
He's got his glasses down a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just thinking about why. So yeah, I understand it's Tecmo Bowl. It's what we know and love. But if you're trying to make it for newer people, why have people like Howie Long? It's like, who the fuck is Howie Long? Why wouldn't you have Josh Allen? Why wouldn't you have Kareem Hunt? Why wouldn't you have? I'm just throwing names out there. Don't sit there and say, well, this guy, whatever. I'm just throwing spitballing names. So why wouldn't you have modern day players in a modern day film?
And the funny part is they're still releasing versions of Tecmo Bowl with the updated characters.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I also think that they should partner with the Tecmo Bowl like World Championships that go on every year. Right?
Puzzle Better says, let's leave Joshy out of this.
Wow, we've already left them out of the playoffs this year. Hi-yo!
You mean the Super Bowl, but
yeah.
The joke still stands. Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting approach because you figure that it would be mainly people our age who would remember Tecmo Bowl and who would want the original characters. But if it's animated, you got to figure they are going to go for that kid demographic as well.
Right.
Although this piece by piece movie, it's a Lego movie, you got to figure kids wanted to see it, but I don't know if it was for kids.
And I mean, this is probably something where you're an adult and you can take your kid to watch it together, so it can be a family event. And then you have to
True.
explain everything.
The kids will mainly just be like, "Oh, it's cartoon football," and then you have to actually cater it to the parents to get them to buy the tickets. It
Yep.
could be a situation like that.
So, if this came out tomorrow, hypothetically, Tecmo Bowl movie, would you rush to go see it?
No.
No.
I don't rush.
I knew your
To be
answer.
fair, I don't rush to see anything.
There's only a handful of movies that come out that I rush to go see.
Sure.
So like Doomsday, when that comes about, yes, I'm rushing to go see. Secret Wars, I'm rushing to go see. Tecmo Bowl, no, I can wait. I can actually hold off until that comes out on video.
Right. Well, on video. That's
Yeah. That's what we were talking about on Monday.
right. Can't wait till that comes out on cassette.
Yeah.
My hi-fi beta.
I'll record it so you can listen to the tape later. All right.
All right,
Last
before
up.
you jump in, do you mind if I take like just a quick 2 minutes? Real quick. Cool.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes, coffee. Blue moves leisurely unless it has Henry Cavill. So the new
Then she's rushing.
Highlander I will be seeing.
Wait, what?
You didn't hear Henry Cavill as being the new Highlander?
No, I did not.
I can't
Is
believe you
it-
don't keep up on your Henry Cavill news.
I'm not a Henry Cavill junkie like you are. So what is this? Is this going to be like the original Highlander movie, like just retold, reimagined?
As I understand it, it's a remake.
Okay. Then who's going to play the Kurgan?
Mm.
Because I would think Cavill would be a good Kurgan and not Connor McLeod. But that's just me.
I'm not aware of any other casting. It's not
Okay.
important.
It's not important.
It's not important.
Ugh. I did not hear of this. Okay.
Mm.
Will the double dribble movie do the other 3 glitch? I it'll have some sort of reference to it. Ugh.
You'd hope so.
Constant raining of the 3s. Oh,
That was a world-weary sigh.
just things are irritating me. He's playing Connor
Mhm.
McLeod. Okay.
I can't seem more interested in the He-Man movie.
I am very now that I am rushing to go see. I rushed to go see the Transformers movie when it came out, the G.I. Joe movie, the first one when it came out. I am definitely all in. We'll be there with my He-Man PJs, sitting in the movie theater, watching the movie.
Did you see Zach's comment?
Zach knows you
Rabbit?
to a T.
Randy's usually doesn't take
Actually-
RGB long to masturbate.
I'm wearing this, and I'm taking my sword to go see the He-Man
Only
movie.
that?
Yeah. Why not?
You were supposed to fill in, but you didn't fill it in.
Oh, you gotta fill in there, bud. I know what you meant. I can see.
All right, and last up, Netflix is being removed from the PlayStation 3. Yes, the PlayStation 3 on March 2nd, 2026. Streaming services phasing out support for older devices shouldn't be a surprise, but what's striking about this shutdown is how long the PS3 Netflix app was functioning. Netflix launched for PS3 in late 2009, but due to an exclusivity deal that the streaming giant had with Xbox, the service was only available through a disc that the company sent in the mail. It took until later in 2010 for Netflix on PS3 PS3 to go disc-free with a downloadable app. Netflix had a similar arrangement for the Wii, but that app was discontinued in 2018. Remarkably, some people were still using the Netflix app on PS3, including perhaps the appropriately named Redditor 12-ton brick of weed, who said, I imagine I'm one of like 10 people bummed by this. Netflix PS3 has been so convenient for watching old shows on a CRT in 4:3 ratio without the black bars on the sides. Glad I got to use it while I still can, and at least they gave a heads up. Ultimately, most consumers will likely be watching their shows and movies on their smart TVs or streaming sticks, but there are always those stubborn folks out there who love using old devices as their Netflix machines. Godspeed to those people.
Let's pour one out for Netflix on PS3.
And I read his whole statement in that stoner, like, whatever, man. It's like, man, that's like, at least they gave me a heads up, you know? I mean, that was cool of them.
Puzzlebetter says, I might still have a Netflix disc for Wii laying around somewhere.
Yeah.
I was wondering that because if you still had the disc, could you still get Netflix on your PS3?
I'm also thinking that maybe they're taking it off there because there was still an option to mail in for discs if you wanted a DVD.
Are they still doing that?
They can't be.
Yeah, there's no way. I wonder what happened to all their DVDs, though.
Landfill.
Aw.
Now they're microplastics probably inside your body.
Okay.
That's too bad.
Netflix does not still mail DVDs. They officially ended that on September 29th, 2023.
Oh, so it was only 2 years or 3
Wow.
years ago.
I think I remember that headline coming across. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Wow.
So in order to watch Netflix in a 4.3 ratio, you would have to get a HDMI to aux converter, which is a pain in the ass, by the way.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I don't know if it would still have the black, because I think it wants to put it in a 16:9 ratio. So your CRT may make it look like shit if you do that.
That doesn't sound worth it. I can't see said, I think Gamefly is still around and they do movies.
Good old Gamefly, yeah.
I can't.
Man, they were pushing that hard.
Why are they still forcing people to? The one thing I hate about this technology is that they're always forcing people to go up. And I get it. You can't. I kind of get it, but then again, I don't. What's the harm in keeping the support going for that one freaking old platform?
Yeah, the 10 people who are using it.
Exactly. You know? There's no harm in keeping it going. You're not losing any money over it.
If it was glitchy as fuck, maybe, I don't know. No, they're not losing money though, because you're still paying a subscription for the fucker.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, you're not.
On PS3?
You're not paying a subscription to use the online services for PS3.
No, but you're paying a subscription to Netflix.
Netflix, right?
True.
But they still have to make, I'm sure, different versions of the app so that it continues to be functional on the PS3. And if you're a bloodthirsty CEO of a corporation who wants to make sure he gets his incentive bonus this year, you're going to cut every fucking line item you can. It doesn't matter if it's a large expense or if people still use it. That's what you're going to do.
Man, we got to save the $600 it took us
to
support
this. That's it.
Right.
Because it's all rolled out into an online, like AWS or Azure or Google.
Yep.
It's hosted there. It doesn't cost much. Bam. They access it. There you go. That's all it is.
But why wasn't it removed when the Wii removed theirs? I wonder.
They decided to, I don't care what Nintendo does. We're still going to support it. Come on over to the PS3.
You know, if you were going to take the Wii out and leave the PS3, like, why?
Yeah.
I feel like people historically bought their PlayStations to be DVD players.
Of course.
Carry over from the PS2. So probably a lot more were still using it for streaming purposes, whereas that's not really why people bought a Wii. So maybe the user base was quite a bit larger.
Puzzle
Yeah,
Butter says,
Puzzle Better brings up a good point. Yeah, even if they are not saving anything, they have to look like they are working.
Right.
Yeah.
Look how much money we saved the company.
And
And
then
we
you can
doctored.
do, I mean, since we've been talking about Doge, you can just add like a couple zeros on the end of it.
oh
And
yeah, pump the numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we have cost reductions at work for our cloud environment, and
Mhm.
so we have to there's a cost savings group that emails all these owners of these accounts and said, hey, we need you to look at cost optimization for your EC2 instance because it's spending an extra $1.32 a month. And the owners are like, why are you even coming at me with this? Well, in the overall grand scheme of things, there's $10 million or $2.4 million that in extra spend that we need to rake in. And out of all the spend, this is what you attribute to. So we need every person's help in scaling
Dollar.
this back. And that's what this whole Netflix thing equates to.
It probably, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But how much are they spending, out of curiosity, to have an entire team dedicated to that?
That's the thing. It's probably not an entire team.
Yeah.
Or a team that will soon be replaced by AI.
AI. There you go. Did you
AI will just cancel it naturally, right? You know, they're not even going to ask you. You're just going to go in one day and be like, oh, and it'll just be seized by AI.
Seized. I like that.
We've looked
But-
at the numbers and this doesn't make sense. We've shut it down. No. You have to get approvals. You have to go ask people to. No, you've told us what to do. We are doing it. Thank you.
Master Control Program is in charge now.
There you go.
All right, let's move on to our top 3 new releases.
All right, first up, Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch 2, Switch, and PC. Set sail on an adventure spanning past and present in Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. Unravel the mysteries of the past. Gather your companions and travel beyond the shores of your small kingdom to discover what or why it is the only remaining island in the world. For seasoned adventurers, rediscover a tale, plucky companions that is brimming with joy and heartbreak. For fledgling heroes new to the series, this is a great place for you to begin your Dragon Quest journey. Next up, Tierscape, PC only. Discover a gothic world in this 2D top-down action adventure blending fast-paced combat, exploration, and pixel art inspired by Game Boy Color classics. Fight monstrous foes, unlock new abilities, and explore a non-linear map filled with hidden secrets and dangerous challenges. And lastly, Neo 3. Did I pronounce that right? Neo?
Neo.
Neo. There can only be one. PS5, PC. Neo 3 is the eagerly anticipated next chapter of the dark samurai action RPG series. A deadly struggle unfolds amidst the devastation of an alternate warring states period where bandits run rampant and yokai skulk about. You will need to use both samurai and ninja combat styles in your battles against formidable yokai as you explore a thrilling open field. So, taking a look at these, Donnie, what are you in for this week?
Not Dragon Quest 7 Reimagined. I haven't played Dragon Quest 7. I haven't played a Dragon Quest game in I don't know how long, since the 80s, I'd say. So I'm not going to
But
start
this
with
is
that
a
one.
great place for fledgling heroes new to the series to begin your Dragon Quest journey.
I've looked at the art style. It doesn't interest me at all. So I'm going to be out on that one. Neo 3, I've heard stories about these types of games, like they're very difficult, and I mean I love the Japanese art style and the content and whatnot, but it's nothing's screaming at me. Nothing's like saying, "Hey, come here, touch me, play me." Tierscape, however, yeah, with the
That's what
Honk,
magical titty wizard screams at you.
I need to get a
Tierscape-
t-shirt that says Magical Titty Wizard.
Let's Google magical titty wizard. What was I just saying? Tierscape looks like a definite throwback to the NES RPG games. And I don't really don't know what to make of this. I could get into something like this because it looks like a real-time action, but the way that the game looks has that old school Final Fantasy Dragon Quest or Dragon Warrior feel to it. So
Mhm.
it looks interesting. I think that's going to be my pick of the week. Tearscape.
Very nice. Bluey, what are you in for?
I think this is a banger week. I think they're all good. I would play them all. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. I am one of those fledgling heroes ready to begin my Dragon Quest journey. I will agree with you, the art style is a little bit of a tougher sell, but it's not a deal breaker. So I am interested in Dragon Quest VII. Tearscape, oh my god, looks like straight up 8-bit Zelda Bloodborne. I am so in for this game. It looks fantastic, and the early reviews are also really good. And then Neo 3. I love dark Souls likes, love the Japanese setting, love this series. I don't know which one to get first. Probably Tearscape because it has a demo and it's only $15. So, I
Nice.
mean, you pretty much can't lose there.
No. Is
What about
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Just on
what about you,
PC.
Ryan? Yeah, just on PC, which is the problem. But
Neo 3 scares me.
as it should.
It looks really tough, and it looks like you need to figure out the combat moves and stuff, right? It looks like it would be pretty complex. So immediately that's like, well, let's pump the brakes here for a second. Also, really disappointed they chose the term Warring States period rather than the Sengoku Jidai. Um, I'm a purist. I'm a
Actually,
purist. Which brings me to Dragon Quest VII Remastered or Reimagined. Sorry. Um, to my knowledge, I don't think DQ7 came out in the US, at least the original one. There was other ones that were on like 3DS, I want to say, but the OG one was a Japan only, to my knowledge. I'm sure there's patches and stuff that you could get for ROMs, but um,
yeah, I know it is for sure on the 3DS. I think it's pretty expensive.
it on the 3DS though, but it comes with a different title name, so I don't know if it's the exact same game or not. It may be in the same universe. I don't know. Nonetheless, um, I I was talking about this earlier too, and I've experienced a lot of the Dragon Quest series. I love kind of 2 through 4. Eight's not bad. And I was thinking that I had played 7, but then I looked into it and I have not. So this is definitely something that, because it's on Switch, I might pick it up as something to get into. Maybe not like say, all right, you know what, I'm going to put a lot of time into this, but um, certainly something I think having it in my backlog, I wouldn't be upset about. Now, Tearscape looks awesome. It looks like a Zelda clone. It looks like it's also got RPG elements to it. I'm not going to say it's a Zelda 2 clone necessarily, but it's a Zelda clone. Uh, and the only thing I hope is that the weapons don't break, and then I'll be happy.
Oh God, don't even put that
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just feel like they're adding extra elements to Zelda, and that's gonna be fucking one of them. They're like, oh, you know what? Then Tears of the Kingdom and all that crap. So, um, yeah, Tearscape is a day one buy. So I'll probably be picking that up after we're done here today. Um, yeah, put it on. It's Steam. Is it available through Steam?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go with Steam. So Tearscape is my number one for today.
All right.
Dungi says Dragon Warrior, I mean Dragon Quest all the way for me. Games with Coffee said, wait, you had me at Zelda 2 clone. Puzzle Better says, I got DQ1 2 remake for Christmas and have to hammer that one out first. Let me rephrase. Now I like the way I said it better.
DQ1 is really quick. If you look up like a guide just to kind of give you the feel of the land, like you can finish that in probably 6 hours.
Well, if you
So
hammer it out right, it is pretty quick.
well played.
It's Orion.
Yeah.
That's right. It is Orion. God, you know me so well.
All right, before we move on, let's take a quick break to talk about our sponsor. This segment is proudly sponsored by the Retro Game Club podcast. It's a fantastic, family-friendly retro gaming podcast. In each episode, Rob and a guest pick 2 games to play and discuss, as well as news, interviews, and other topics. Right now, they want to know, do you still play any of the classic mini consoles? Visit them at retrogameclub.net or follow the link in the show notes. And I gotta ask you, does this count? Does this count as a mini console?
When they say classic mini, I think they're referring to the modern HD ones, but to me, that would count. That thing is badass, and I know that's expensive as hell, and I want one so bad.
I love these.
So
Zach is in the chat, and you can confirm whether that counts.
If you wake up and your mouth smells like pennies, or your mouth tastes like pennies, right? And then like your entire room there's a lot of things missing. That's going to be one of them. It was not me.
It was not. Go Hobo
Go
Go.
Hobo
says,
Go.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Let the record show he's holding up his penis.
It's a classic, right? It's a classic.
Zach said, I don't know. It's Rob's question.
Now, Games with Coffee says, yep, still play mine all the time. And I'm still thinking about he's holding up his penis.
So I will say, the ones that I've got, I can look at them right now. I haven't touched them in a while. When they first came out, I've played the shit out of them. But lately, I don't know. Just like, okay, so the PlayStation 1 I was all in for because I had Final Fantasy 7, and then I got to the point in which I got Omnislash on the first disc, super excited about it, and then the file corrupted and I couldn't access it, and I was so fucking pissed because I spent so much time. So it should feel good that I haven't smashed it yet. So
I've heard that one is a big piece of crap, and I've never purchased it. I have the Sega Genesis Mini, the TurboGrafx Mini, the Super Nintendo Mini. I do not have the NES Mini. I don't play any of those. Basically, those were just like kind of investment purchases since I have such a wide library of games at my disposal. So my answer is no. I do not play any of my mini consoles.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree it's more of an investment purchase, not from a perspective of a resell potential, but it's... Simon says, I'm still hoping for the Power Glove Mini.
It's just like on your pinky or something. What is this, a Power Glove for ants?
But I think that anything that allows you to shore up your library in a method that no one can take away from you.
Sure.
Right? It's not online, and it doesn't matter if you don't play them. It doesn't matter if they just sit on your shelf because you could play them anytime you wanted to.
It's true.
Plug and play. So it's good to have that as a backup or as your primary retro backlog, however it is you look at it. But that's why I have them.
For a while, I was using it as travel stuff. So I would just
absolutely.
You just throw it in a backpack, boom.
Yeah,
good to go.
Yeah.
One of the things that I would think about doing is for disc-based systems like PlayStation. Unfortunately, if they ever came out with a PS2 one, Dreamcast one, Saturn one, is to basically get one of those and get all of the ROMs for that particular system loaded up on your Mini, because at some point your discs will experience disc rot.
Yeah.
So once that happens, I've got a perfect example. Nights into Dreams that I bought off a lady a couple months ago. It's disc rotted. There's no saving that damn thing. So
damn. And that's an expensive game.
Webhead says, did I have a fever dream or did they make a Dance Dance Revolution Mini? I think they did, and I think it was in Japan only.
That is definitely a Japanese thing, a rhythm game with your fingers. Alrighty. All right, welcome, students. Please take your seats and welcome to Professor Rybread's Nerd History 101. And in today's lesson, we're going to learn about a group of nerds who took on the tyrannical U.S. phone system, all starting with a surprise in your breakfast cereal. We, of course, are discussing the phone freaks, freaks with a PH, people who learn that sometimes the most powerful weapon against a massive institution is a toy, a tone, and an unhealthy amount of curiosity.
Hack the planet.
This actually is 100% Hack the Planet, so we're going to get into that.
Nice.
So it's the late 1960s. America's in a, we'll call it turbulent but optimistic time. And consuming cereal with sugar levels that suggest federal oversight had briefly gone on vacation. Inside boxes of Captain Crunch cereal is a small plastic pirate whistle. Officially, it was called the bosun whistle, and practically it's meant to be blown for about 10 seconds before a parent confiscates it. Now, due to the unfortunate alignment of the plastic molds and face, the whistle would produce a tone that was exactly, if done right, 2,600 hertz. I can see myself.
You
Oh,
can see the
there it is.
rot.
Yep.
So I did not mean to do that to interrupt you. I was just
All good.
Sorry.
All good. So this is unfortunate because 2,600 hertz is the please trust me note of the US phone system back in the day. So at the time, the phone network, which was run by AT&T, was analog. There was no encryption, no digital signaling, just copper wires and hubris.
Hubris.
The system used in-band signaling, meaning human voices, control signals, and billing commands, all traveled on the same audio channel. Security was based on a single idea. No regular person will ever generate our control tones, so we don't have to worry about it. The idea did not survive rock music or audio equipment or cereal, apparently. So the most important tone was the 2,600. When the system heard it, it believed a call had ended and released a long distance trunk line. The system would then wait for instructions from what it assumed was another trusted switch. So the system did not check identity, it did not authenticate, it didn't ask follow-up questions, it just simply listened. So when someone blew the Captain Crunch whistle into the phone, the network didn't hear a toy, it heard, "This line is idle, awaiting commands." Which is not a sentence you want your national infrastructure saying to children and curious adults. So most kids just annoyed their parents with the whistle, but a few that kind of already people who are already dismantling radios for fun and that kind of stuff noticed that the phone system reacted. The realization is a one-way door. So these people became known as phone freaks. They were explorers, not vandals, and they memorized tones, learned switch behavior, and treated the phone network like an invisible city mapped entirely by sound. They learned something critical. The network doesn't know who you are. It only knows whether you sound correct. So here's the thing, and we're going to get a little nerdy here, so bear with me. Normal phones use what they call DTMF tones, right? It's the bleeps that you hear when you type in your keypad, right?
Are you DTMF?
Totally. So those are meant for humans, right? So we can hear what those tones are. But the phone system itself actually uses a different one. So take the DT off of that. It's called the multi-frequency or MF signaling. So it's a set of paired tones, represent digits and commands used only between switches and operators. So if you're typing in the numbers on the DTMF, is saying, please dial this number for me. Where the MF hears certain tones and it says, I am infrastructure, obey me. So the system assumed no one outside of AT&T would ever speak the language, the MF language, which was, of course, pioneered by Samuel L. Jackson, right? But this was kind of, I'll say, optimistic oversight, right? So the whistle proved the flaw. Electronics could be exploited, and phone freaks started to build what they refer to as blue boxes. These
Okay.
devices basically they generated that 2600 hertz to seize the trunk lines, and then precise motherfucker tones, MF tones, pairs to the issues of routing commands, right? So using a blue box, a call worked like this: place a long distance call normally, play the 2600 hertz. The system releases the trunk but keeps listening. And then you send one of the tones as if you were the switch operator. It will route the call anywhere you give it instructions to, and billing never starts. The call exists emotionally, spiritually, but not financially in the system. The system wasn't hacked, it was lied to, essentially.
They were tones.
Yeah. Oh, play. Now, this mattered because freaks weren't just making free calls. They were walking between scenes of critical infrastructure, kind of exposing the truth based security, demonstrating that knowledge beats authority, and revealing how much abstraction creates power. Engineers cared about it because it was elegant, AT&T cared about it because it was humiliating, and governments cared about it because it was infrastructure. But most importantly, freaks cared about it because the map was finally visible. So eventually, AT&T realized teenagers knew more about routing than executives. They responded with monitoring, prosecutions, and finally redesigning the entire network. Moving from signaling out of audio channels entirely, the system stopped listening. Golden age of phone freaking ended, but not before two very attentive students took notes. One of them cared about precision. He obsessed over clean signals, minimal components, and perfect execution. For him, the blue box was proof that elegant design could tame complexity. The other cared about experience. He loved demonstrations, movement, power revealed itself, and the feeling of control hidden inside the object. They built blue boxes together. One perfected them, one sold them. Any guesses as who I'm talking about?
One has got to be Steve Jobs.
Correct.
Steve Wozniak.
Yes, the two students were Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs. Years later, actually, Jobs would say that without the blue box, there would have been no Apple.
Hmm.
Which means the iPhone's family tree includes a cereal toy, a whistle.
Everybody has that relative that you don't really talk about.
Right. So I thought that this was going to be at least kind of an interesting look into how hacking, in a way, started back in the day. How a mistake from a toy that was put into, I mean, the plastic toy probably cost them pennies to make, right? And ended up ruining an infrastructure as far as the phone system was concerned. Uh, but also there were some additional players to this that I would feel remiss if I didn't mention. So there's a guy who went by the nickname Captain Crunch. I think he was really one of the first ones who publicized the fact that you could use this. So he was one of the OGs using the whistle in order to kind of get that to work. Another gentleman, which I couldn't find the name of him officially. I think he goes by Joy Bubbles. He was uh, blind, so he had extrasensory elsewhere, and one of them was, of course, he had better hearing, and therefore it allowed him to use his voice to create the tone. So he could actually create like a 2600 tone with his mouth, and then any
No
other things he
kidding.
wanted to switch. Yeah, so pretty interesting stuff. Love the connection between that and like Steve Jobs, just thinking that the iPhone I got in my pocket is a result of people trying to hack the system. So to kind of wrap things up, I think this is a classic example of why nerds are awesome and nerds rule the world, and that we need to continue to invest in nerds in order to see the coolest shit ever. Uh, and this again, yeah, sure, it could have been malicious in the sense that it they were stealing phone calls, right? But
Ooh.
not exactly the end of the world. So
Right.
Not just nerds, rebel nerds.
there we go. Like nerds who are heck the planet.
Yep, exactly.
Yep. So this is where I'm going to go and leave you. Thank you guys so much for attending another Professor Rybread's Nerd History 101. If you do have any suggestions for a topic or story you'd like to hear, please email us at gamersweekpodcast@gmail.com, and we might feature your suggestion.
Doogie says, thank you for the lesson, Professor. You redeemed a highlight just for you.
Oh, sweet.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap up the show. Thank you for listening to episode 198 of Gamers Week Podcast, and a big thank you to the Retro Game Club Podcast, Love Retro BTW, Pixel Pawn Production Company, and Absolutely the Best Podcast, a work in progress, for sponsoring this episode. Don't forget to check out their links in the show notes. If you want to connect with Gamers Week, follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky at Gamers Week PC. Watch us right here on Twitch at twitch.tv/Gamers Week Podcast, where we will record live every Wednesday at 8:30 Central Time. Email us at gamersweekpodcast@gmail.com. Visit our merch store at gamers-week-podcast.creator-spring.com. Or if you want to do it the easy way, follow the link in the show notes. And last but not least, join us on Patreon at patreon.com/gamersweek. Finally, since you made it all the way to the end of this episode, please leave us a rating and a review to let us know how we did. We really do value your feedback. And while you're there, consider subscribing on iTunes, Spotify, or your podcast platform of choice. Thank you, Ramboski.
Yeah. And thank you, Doongie, as well.
And DJ Kwan, thank you.
Yes, yep.
GoldenEye, Tekin, Simon, Webhead, everybody.
All of you.
All the cool kids are hanging out here in the stream tonight.
Love it. All right. Well, are we raiding anybody tonight?
Not tonight.
Okay. Well, then again, guys, thank you so much for coming, and have a great night.
Mwah.
Night, night.